Blueface went online and made this wild allegation that went viral that said that you and Offset had slept together behind Cardi's back. You haven't talked about it. Cardi hasn't talked about it.
She responded and said she didn't know if it was true or not, and she said that's me and him is broken up. That's what she said.
Right.
What?
Stop everything. Because the timeline didn't just shake, it detonated. For days, the internet has been spiraling over rumors connecting Chrisean Rock and Offset. And what started as quiet speculation turned into full-blown digital hysteria. We're talking screenshots analyzed like crime scene evidence, timestamps dissected like courtroom exhibits, and social media detectives zooming in so hard you'd think they were getting paid per conspiracy. Likes became proof, story views became signals, coincidences became connections, and just when the rumor mill reached peak chaos, boom, Chrisean speaks. But here's where it gets spicy. What she said didn't feel like a simple no comment. It felt like a line drawn in the sand. And in the world of celebrity drama, lines don't calm storms, they split audiences. Some fans screamed case closed, others whispered, wait, read that again. Because in today's internet culture, denial doesn't end speculation. It fuels it. This isn't just gossip. This is high-speed narrative warfare. Two big names, one viral rumor, millions watching. And trust me, the fallout is louder than the whisper that Offset rumors didn't arrive with sirens. They crept in quietly. Like background noise that suddenly gets louder when you realize what you're hearing. Like here. A suspiciously timed post there, a story overlap that fans decided was definitely not random. And once Chrisean Rock and Offset were spotted orbiting the same digital space, the internet did what it does best. It built a narrative before anyone confirmed. A single thing, let's be honest. Offset's name alone carries dramatic history, public relationship turbulence, viral controversies, headline-making moments. His brand doesn't exactly whisper. So when his name gets paired with Chrisean's, who is no stranger to internet chaos herself, the speculation practically writes itself. It didn't need evidence. It just needed possibility. And possibility is fuel online. Fans began connecting dots that may or may not have existed. Why did she post right after him? Why were they both active at the same time? Why did he unfollow someone that day? The reaches were Olympic level. People were zooming into screenshots like they were studying for a final exam. In Gossip 101, timelines were analyzed, emojis were dissected. Even silence was interpreted not because silence, in the digital age, is suspicious. The rumor snowballed fast. Fan accounts reposted side-by-side screenshots. Blogs picked it up with carefully crafted language like fans speculate. And internet reacts. Notice how those headlines never confirm anything. They just amplify. And once a rumor gets amplified, it gains weight. It starts to feel real simply because it's everywhere. That's how virality works. Soon reaction. Channels jumped in, breaking down every pixel like it was forensic evidence. Thumbnails screamed drama. Comment sections turned into debate arenas. Half the internet was convinced something was brewing. The other half insisted it was pure imagination. And then, just when the noise hit peak volume, Chrisean addressed it. She didn't hide behind a cryptic tweet. She didn't release a stiff, robotic PR statement that sounded like it was drafted by a crisis management team at 3 a.m. She spoke in her own tone, direct, unfiltered, and clearly pushing back against the narrative. She made it clear the rumors weren't accurate. Simple, right? Not in internet culture. Because denial doesn't automatically shut down speculation. Sometimes it energizes it. Supporters immediately defended her. She said it's not true. End of story. Loyal fans tried to shut the door on the rumor before it could grow legs. But critics, they leaned in closer. They replayed her words. They analyzed her phrasing. She didn't deny this specific detail. That sounded defensive. Why address it at all? The conversation shifted from "is it true" to "was that convincing?" And once you reach that stage, the rumor evolves. Meanwhile, Offset remained relatively quiet publicly. No. -1 clapback. No strong denial. Just silence. And online, silence doesn't read as neutral. It reads as mysterious. Some interpreted it as maturity, not feeding unnecessary drama. Others framed it as strategic distance. Either way, the silence added tension. Memes arrived exactly when you'd expect them to. Dramatic fake investigative boards with red strings connecting unrelated screenshots, parody. Headlines, captions like the rumor traveled faster than the facts. It was chaotic, hilarious, and deeply internet coded. But beneath the humor was something more revealing. This rumor caught fire not because of evidence, but because of context. Both memes carry public drama history, so when they trend together, audiences assume potential fireworks. It's less about proof and more about pattern recognition. Even if the pattern isn't real. In the digital age, proximity equals possibility. You don't need a photo together. You don't need confirmation. A shared algorithm moment is enough. If two people are active online at similar times, it can spark a full-blown conspiracy thread. And once speculation reaches trending status, it becomes self-sustaining. More commentary equals more engagement. More engagement equals more visibility. More visibility equals more discussion. By that point, it's not about truth anymore. It's about momentum. That's the real engine behind viral drama. Chrisean's response attempted to slow that engine down. And for some viewers, it worked. They took her words at face value. They moved on, but for others, the response became just another piece of the puzzle they were determined to solve. Because the internet doesn't just consume drama. It performs. The reason this moment feels explosive isn't because of confirmed facts. It's because audiences were primed for it. Both Chrisean and Offset have public narratives that involve intensity. So when their names intersected, it felt dramatic even without substance. And drama is irresistible. Even neutral observers couldn't resist clicking. When two recognizable figures trend together, curiosity wins. And curiosity drives traffic. Traffic drives headlines. Headlines extend the life of the rumor. Now the conversation sits divided. Some believe Chrisean shut it down completely. Others remain skeptical, convinced there's something deeper. But one thing is undeniable. The rumor spread because people wanted it to mean something. And that says more about internet culture than it does about either of them. Because in today's world, speculation moves faster than truth. And once a narrative forms, escaping it isn't simple. The real question now isn't whether the rumor was true. The moment Chrisean addressed the rumor, the temperature didn't drop, it spiked. Because now the internet had something new to chew on. It wasn't just about screenshots anymore. It was about tone, delivery, body language, intent. The speculation mutated from did something happen to did that response feel real, and that's when things got messy. Reaction channels went into full analysis mode. Clips of her statement were slowed down, replayed, zoomed in on like it was the Zapruder film of celebrity gossip. Look at her expression when she said that. Notice the pause. Why did she emphasize that word? Suddenly everyone had a PhD in micro-expression studies. Supporters were loud and immediate. They called out the blogs for stirring drama. They accused gossip pages of reaching for clicks. They insisted the rumor was built on nothing more than coincidence and imagination. You'll see two people online and create a whole movie. One fan wrote, and honestly, that line hit. But critics weren't retreating. Instead, they pivoted. They claimed the denial was too direct, or too emotional, or strategically timed. Because once suspicion enters the chat, neutrality exits the room. The narrative shifted again. Now the debate wasn't about Offset. It was about credibility. Meanwhile, Offset remained largely silent, and that silence started trending almost as loudly as the rumor itself. Some people praised him for not entertaining chaos. Others interpreted the quiet as calculated avoidance. In the digital era, silence is never empty. It's interpreted. It's projected onto. It becomes part of the storyline, whether intended or not. Memes exploded at record speed. Parody investigation boards with red string connecting unrelated posts. Fake album covers titled "Timing is Everything." tweets joking that the rumor had better promo than some actual singles. The internet doesn't just discuss drama, it remixes it. What made this rumor so sticky wasn't proof. It was chemistry, narrative chemistry, two recognizable names, both with public histories that include high-profile relationships and controversy. Put them in the same trending sentence and it feels combustible, even if there's no fire. And let's talk about how quickly the rumor escalated beyond its original shape. At first, it was just online overlap. Then it became alleged communication, then collaboration theories, then emotional speculation. Within days, the internet had built a multi-episode drama series out of thin air. That's not exaggeration. That's digital storytelling in real time. Some bloggers began hinting at sources. You know the type: anonymous, unnamed, conveniently informed. The phrase allegedly did a lot of heavy lifting. But once the word allegedly enters headlines, the imagination fills in the blanks, and Chrisean's response, instead of shutting it down universally, split audiences further. Because here's the thing about public denial: that it's only effective if people are willing to accept it. If someone already believes a narrative, no amount of clarity will change their mind. Confirmation bias is undefeated online. If critics expect chaos, they'll find it. If supporters expect growth, they'll defend it. Defend it. That's what made this situation feel like narrative warfare. It wasn't just rumor versus truth. It was interpretation versus interpretation. Another fascinating layer: the algorithm. Once a rumor starts trending, platforms feed it back into timelines. Repeatedly, the more people engage, the more it circulates. It becomes unavoidable. Even people who didn't initially care were suddenly aware. Why do I keep seeing this? Because engagement fuels repetition, and repetition creates perceived significance. Suddenly, this wasn't just a rumor, it was a moment. Influencers began posting vague tweets that fans interpreted as shade. Some people love attention. Timing says everything. Were they about Chrisean, about Offset, about something completely unrelated? It didn't matter. The internet connected the dots instantly. The narrative snowballed into a cultural debate about celebrity proximity. Is being active online at the same time suspicious? Does digital overlap equal connection? Or are fans projecting patterns onto coincidence? This is where things get philosophical. In today's fame economy, perception is currency. Even if the rumor is false, the association still generates attention. Attention keeps names circulating. Circulation equals relevance. And relevance is power. But power cuts both ways. Because with increased visibility comes intensified scrutiny. Every post becomes magnified. Every absence becomes suspicious. Even neutral behavior gets interpreted through the lens of remember that rumor. That's the lingering effect. And this is where things get even more interesting. Not louder, not messier, but heavier. Because once the viral wave slows down, what's left isn't just tweets and memes, it's perception. And perception has a longer shelf life than any rumor ever will. For Chrisean Rock, addressing the Offset drama wasn't just about shutting down gossip, it was about narrative control. And in the entertainment world, narrative is everything. You can't always stop people from talking, but you can influence what they talk about next. By speaking up, she took ownership of the moment instead of letting speculation spiral unchecked. But here's the reality: even when you deny something, the association doesn't just evaporate. Offset and Chrisean's names trended together. That digital proximity becomes archived. Screenshots live forever. Search bars remember everything, even if the rumor was built on coincidence. The headline already existed. And in celebrity culture, headlines leave shadows. That's where reputational ripple effects begin. Chrisean's public image has always carried intensity. She trends fast. She moves loudly. So when another rumor attaches itself to her name, critics see pattern instead of coincidence. It doesn't matter whether the pattern is real. It matters that people believe it could be. And belief drives commentary. Offset's silence, meanwhile, becomes its own chapter. In some corners, it's seen as strategic maturity, not giving oxygen to something that may be baseless. In other spaces, it's framed as calculated distance, but silence is rarely neutral online. It's projected onto, interpreted, turned into meaning whether there's meaning there or not. What's fascinating is how this entire saga reveals the speed of modern celebrity storytelling. We no longer wait for confirmation. We build full narratives out of digital fragments. A shared algorithm moment becomes a potential scandal. A coincidental timestamp becomes evidence. And by the time clarification arrives, the internet has already formed its opinion. That's the real power shift here. The rumor wasn't dangerous because of proof. It was powerful because of possibility. People wanted it to mean something. They wanted a crossover headline. They wanted drama chemistry. And when audiences are primed for fireworks, even a spark looks explosive. Now comes the long-term impact. If Chrisean continues focusing on projects, releases music, and avoids feeding into further speculation, this moment will fade naturally. New headlines will replace it. The algorithm will move on. That's how fast the cycle turns. But if another overlapping coincidence appears, even harmless, critics will revive this rumor like it never left. That's how digital memory works. 4. Offset. The calculus is similar. By not amplifying the chatter, he avoids deepening the narrative. Sometimes silence truly is strategy, but if any future interaction, even professional, crosses paths publicly, the internet will resurrect this chapter instantly, because once two names trend together, the internet never fully forgets. What makes this saga so layered isn't just the rumor itself, it's what it exposes about online culture. We live in a time where proximity equals narrative. Being active at the same time online can spark conspiracy. Engagement becomes evidence, timing becomes theory, and denial. Denial becomes content. The bigger question now isn't whether the rumor was true. It's whether addressing it changed perception. Supporters feel validated. Critics remain skeptical. Neutral observers are entertained. The outrage has cooled, but the memory remains. And in celebrity branding, memory shapes future headlines. But here's the twist no one wants to admit. Even controversy, when managed carefully, keeps names circulating. Trending equals visibility. Visibility equals relevance. Relevance equals leverage. The danger is letting the narrative define you instead of directing it. Right now, Chrisean has the opportunity to redirect the spotlight. New music, new collaborations, new headlines that overshadow old speculation. Because the fastest way to bury a rumor isn't to argue with it, it's to outshine it. Offset's strategy appears to be minimal engagement. Let the internet exhaust itself. Let the wave crash and retreat. And historically, that approach works more often than not. Online storms burn hot and fade fast. But this chapter won't disappear completely. It becomes part of the digital archive. A footnote, a remember when moment that can resurface if triggered. And that's the final layer. In today's culture, perception moves faster than proof. Association spreads quicker than clarification. And once a narrative forms, it doesn't die, it hibernates. Did Chrisean Rock shut the Offset drama down once and for all? Or did her response just add another layer to the mystery? Be honest. Did it feel clear and final? Or did it leave room for HMM energy? And what about Offset staying quiet? Was that smart strategy or suspicious silence? Drop your real opinions in the comments. I don't want safe takes. I want bold predictions. Was this pure internet imagination running wild? Or is there always a little spark behind viral smoke? Let's debate it. And if this breakdown had you locked in, smash that like button like it owes you money and ghosted you. Hit subscribe like you're securing front row seats to every headline twist before it explodes. Because over here, the drama doesn't take days off, the rumors don't retire, and the timelines never stay quiet for long. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next plot twist. Because in this industry, one coincidence can turn into a conspiracy overnight. Stay sharp, stay loud, stay watching. Because when celebrity narratives collide and the internet connects imaginary dots at lightning speed, there's only one place sensing it all in real time. This is Celeb SYNC, and the story is never over.